What we're talking about will help everybody out. We want you to be able to maximize the value of the dollar that you give, not just in terms of giving it to Breathe California or whatever charity you prefer, but also in terms of the benefit you can get in the way of tax deduction, or we may even come up with some ways of you making money. Welcome, Dick.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I love talking about this, as you well know. One of the things that anybody interested in being a savvy donor needs to ask himself or herself is, what am I going to give?
Now, this
Not
already
all gifts
sounds
are
bizarre.
created equal.
You know, what is there to do other than writing checks? I mean, that's
Ah,
all you do is you send cash in. To me, that's charitable donation. Do you have
Thank
something
you.
else in mind?
That's a great lead-in. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Yeah, cash is certainly one of the ways that most people make their gifts. Certainly appreciated by charities. It's immediately usable. But there are also gifts of different types of property. One of the things that people are giving more frequently now are securities. Appreciated property is a wonderful thing to give. And by property, I mean securities, real property, even under certain circumstances, tangible personal property, but the rules there are quite complicated regarding the deduction. So we'll concentrate here on gifts of securities, appreciated securities, and real property. Because when you make a gift of appreciated property, the charity gets the full value of that appreciated property, and you don't pay the capital gains tax, which you would have had to have paid if you sold that appreciated property and took the cash and used it for a vacation or to reinvest. You
So
would have had to have paid tax on
let's
that.
do a tangible example here. My friend Jacqueline bought eBay stock at 100, and it's now worth $1,000 a share.
Mm-hmm.
How do you work that to get an even better deal for yourself,
Well,
charity-wise?
if she would have sold that, she would have had to have paid capital gains tax on that $900 profit per share or
Sure.
whatever. But if she gave it to charity, no capital gains tax. The charity gets the full $1,000, and the cost to her is not the $1,000. The cost to her is what she would have netted, or it's the $1,000 less the capital gains tax on that on the sales on the capital gains. The difference between the 1,000 and the 100 that she paid on it.
So let me just invent a number. If the net gain was $900
That's
if
right.
she'd sold it,
That's right.
and let's just make it real easy. The capital gains was 50% of it. She's only going to pay on roughly $450 on her taxes.
Well, she will save the capital gains tax. In other words, she will not have to pay that.
Yeah.
And that would probably amount to about, because federal capital gains tax rate is 15%, you add the state tax rate, that makes it 20%.
Yeah,
So
you're using real numbers
So
instead of my invention. Yeah.
just multiply 20% times 900, right?
180.
$180. So she has not, that money goes to the charity. She would have gotten that $1,000 less $180 in taxes that she would have paid.
To be really confused here, so she gets to take off on her taxes $820.
Full 1,000.
So she takes off $1,000,
That's right.
and there's any capital gains tax on the difference between 100 and 1,000?
No, if she
It's just
donates it,
incredible.
there's no capital gains tax. Whereas she would have had to have paid that $180 if she did not contribute it.
Yeah, so she's deducting $1,000 from her taxes and saving $180 in
That's right.
capital gains.
The true cost of that gift is $1,000 less $180.
So if you've got income to offset that, that is an incredibly spectacular deal.
Plus, she gets the deduction.
Yeah.
Right.
So
that's savvy giving. That's
yeah.
savvy. I honestly don't
as opposed
understand.
to writing a check for $1,000.
Right. I honestly don't understand why anybody who has appreciated securities doesn't contribute appreciated securities instead of cash.
Yeah.
Yet a lot of people contribute cash when they have appreciated securities.
Yeah.
If you have depreciated securities or property, you should probably sell them, take the capital loss, and contribute the proceeds.
Yeah, because you can use the loss
Right.
there to offset some income
Right.
that you might have. But there's an awful lot of people that, even in spite of more recent downturns, if they've held things for a long time, still have got a very strongly appreciated.
Still appreciation there.
So maybe the worst hypothetical to tell you about is my next door neighbor. She bought her house in 1938 for $3,800.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say the house is worth $1 million now. Is there something similar to stocks
Absolutely.
that's worth? So run through that one again. I don't think we need to do all the calculations, but if she gave it to Breathe California, it's $1 million deduction for her?
She can deduct the value of that contribution.
Yeah.
She needs to have it. It needs to be substantiated. The value needs to
Yeah.
be backed up. But she has to be careful that she doesn't exceed the deduction limits every year. But if she exceeds the annual deduction limit for a gift of appreciated property, which is 30% of her AGI, all right, in any
Adjusted
gross income in any year, she can carry that forward for up to 5 additional years. So that can make a very savvy gift, a gift of real property, because that can be heavily taxed. Again, you have that 15% federal, 5% state, just putting some numbers together there. 20% of that appreciation can be paid out in taxes. Now we do get a credit of $250,000 in capital gains for any individual, or $500,000 for a couple in terms of capital gains on the sale of a residence, all right? And you can do that every couple of years, okay? So you do have that, but everything over that, and in the example that you used, that's a way over that $250,000 credit.